This video is brought to you by T2Do Language Center by teacher Victor. InGenOriginal presents Tun-Si, Children of Nublar. Extended edition. Author MD Martino, year 2025. The Ember Tube. By then, I was no longer a child, but I was not yet an adult either. I was on the shadow between two roads, obeying, silent, watching. I worked like so many others, cleaning, carrying, recording, without speaking, without asking, but always seeing. That was when they sent me down to the lower levels of the laboratory. They said it was a simple task, cleaning the incubators. 5 minutes, do not look inside. But there was something in the guard stone that made me shiver. A cold that did not come from the air conditioning. It came from the earth, a cold that seemed to rise through my veins. The elevator groaned as it descended. The sound of the cables mixed with the distant echo of machines. When the doors opened, I felt the air change. It was thicker, almost liquid. The concrete exhaled moisture and iron, and the sound of the machines, slow, rhythmic, felt like a sleeping heart beating somewhere inside the island. Down there, the road was made of glass, vapor, and silence. The lights flickered softly, as if afraid to wake something. The walls vibrated slightly, as if they were breathing. I passed a row of tanks. Inside them, indistinct shapes floated. Shadows whose outlines seemed to shift under the light's reflection. It was like walking through a corridor of liquid dreams or nightmares. The most isolated chamber drew me in. There was no sign, only an amber light blinking above the door. I entered. At the center of the room stood a vertical glass tube. Inside it, thick golden liquid moved in slow ripples, and there, suspended in the amber, her, the creature, small, a slender body, still partly translucent, where fragile bones and forming muscles could be seen. Two thin crests rose from the top of its head, delicate as nail ribs, and a folded frill of skin rested around its neck. It slept, or pretended to. I stepped closer. I don't know why. Maybe the sound, maybe instinct. The air felt colder there, as if the island's warmth had been drained into that tube. Then the eyes opened. It was not sudden. It was slow, deliberate. They shone with a deep wet yellow, like fire reflected in a dark river. And they looked straight at me. There was no rage in that gaze. There was awareness, and something else. A sorrow that was not human. Yet I understood it, as if that being knew what it meant to be born where it should not. My body reacted, stepped back. But the tube emitted a deep sound, a low, steady thump, like a heart beating out of a rhythm. The creature moved. The membranes of its limbs stretched, its muscles tightened, and for a moment it seemed to reach for the glass. There was sadness in that gesture, or longing, or perhaps an ancient memory, echoing through recreated flesh, something human words cannot reach. I returned to the surface, without saying a word. In the village, the air was heavy. The elders could feel it. They whispered, "The spirits of the dead have returned, but they have not returned whole." That night, the dogs began barking at the stones. The birds vanished from the treetops, and in the morning mist, the wind carried footsteps, light, wrong, hurried, as if something small and not entirely alive wandered through the forest. The jungle, which one once whispered, now watched it. And everyone knew, even without saying it, something was being born. But it was not new. It was a return. It was the past refusing to die.